Hello everyone, welcome back to another speed build with Frimlin, and this is the second video that I've made for the collaboration with BellGuru, and this is an exterior that she has made called Birch Cottage. If you haven't already seen the video where Bell makes this exterior, I really strongly urge that you go over and listen to it. Because not only does she say the sweetest things about me, but she also explains what she's doing and a bit of the kind of history between us. And she also explains the whole idea that we had for this collaboration, the random pack collab, and that she very bravely built this home without using the move objects cheat which she usually uses. So yeah, she's BellGuru is not like me. She builds with the cheat on, so I know what it's like to try and build or furnish when you're not in your element, and it could be a very scary experience. So before I go on about this build, I just wanted to thank Bell for being so brave, and you know, the options were completely open. She could have built with move objects cheat if she really wanted to, but she took the plunge, and you know, I like what she built. As I said in the last video for this collaboration, Bell isn't a serious stick like me. She doesn't, please excuse my use of words here, but she's not anally retentive like me. I would love to find a better way of describing how I am, but I think that really sums it up. I think the trouble is because I worked as a game content designer for 10 years, I'm just overly careful about how I construct stuff for games, like speed builds, for example. And I try and have as much fun and be as creative as I can, and the restrictions that I set for myself, I choose these restrictions. But Bell's different. She doesn't restrict herself in the same way, but her builds are so fun. That's what I really like about them. They're creative and fun, and I think that is definitely missing from my builds. I mean, I make lots of I try to make kind of realistic builds, but I'm also quite minimalistic. And so I think a lot of my places can, to some people, look empty. And it's not just because that I don't use the move objects cheat that I don't have much clutter. It's also, I just don't like having lots of clutter in my builds. But anyway, I just wanted to get this out of the way. Bell and I are very close already. We haven't known each other for all that long. I mean, it's, I don't know, 6 months or so. But we both understand each other, and I really appreciate that. And so we've talked a lot about this collaboration, and especially the second video, because I was really super nervous about doing this. But Bell, she listened to what I had to say, and she gave me a lot of encouragement, and she's just generally very nice about it. And you will get a sense of that if you go back and listen to the first video. I mean, I don't know what she's going to say in the second video, but in the first video, she just comes across so lovely, and that's because she just is. So, hey Belle, thank you so much, and I hope that you like my finishing, and I hope you like my commentary. So yeah, anyway, I wanted to talk just quickly about what I just talked about, but hopefully now I can talk about the build. So the house she made, Birch Cottage as she called it, she used 2 packs. She used Get Together expansion pack, and she used Spooky Stuff, which for some reason I keep forgetting is a pack. I think it's like some kind of free Halloween update content. I don't know why, I've got it stuck in my head, but it was one of the first packs actually, if I remember correctly. And she didn't choose these packs, she used dice to decide them, and when I built an exterior for her, I actually kind of bypassed the whole random idea of this collaboration because I'm a control freak, and I explained that in my last video. But anyway, we agreed that when we furnished each other's house, we could choose another 2 packs to do the interior with. We didn't actually discuss whether we could only use those 2 packs. And so, because of that loophole, I have used also items from the 2 packs she used to build the exterior. I hope you don't mind, Belle. If you'd wanted to do the same with my exterior, that would have been completely fine, and I hope you did. I hope you just did it. But I feel bad now. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, I could have chosen 2 packs to do the interior randomly, like she probably did. But again, because I'm a bit of a control freak, I chose the packs that I was going to use to finish with. Ooh. But we still have restricted packs. So in total we've used 4 packs for this build, which is actually probably double what I would usually use in a build. And so it's difficult for me actually to use so many packs. And actually recently I did a finishing with way more packs than this, and whoa, I was super scared. It just freaked me out. But yeah, even 4 packs is scary for me because, well, I like showcasing a pack by using its items. So if I use a couple of packs, I will use them heavily to try, and I also try using the signature objects that came with that pack. Like, for example, if it's a stuff pack, there's usually 1 or 2 really obvious kind of signature main objects in that pack, and so if I was using that pack, I would use those objects. It's just something I like doing. So when I'm doing a build with 4 packs, I'm like, I can't possibly use all these items, can I? You have probably guessed which packs I use now, especially considering that giant TV screen that I was just moving around. But I used Movie Hangout Stuff Pack, and I used the Kids Room Stuff Pack. So I chose those. Well, there's a couple of reasons, but yeah, let me get into explaining it. So the exterior build that Belle did, using spooky stuff and get together, well, it's kind of fun and it's quirky in my mind. That's one of the words I'd use to describe it. And so because of that kind of funness, the fun nature of that build, I thought it'd be good to have, you know, kids take it into consideration. And I hardly ever build with kids room stuff. I don't know why. I think it just gets the chop because I'm trying to focus on 1 or 2 other packs, but I like the pack, and so kids room stuff was one of the packs, and the other one, Movie Hangout stuff, is another one I don't use very often, but I think the items in it are really lovely. I mean, I like all the bright colours, even though strangely enough, I mean, if you know me as a builder, I don't build many super bright very colourful builds. I use colour carefully. I often build neutral backgrounds with kind of bold usage of colours. But I really actually love all the colours in the Movie Hangout stuff. And so I thought this is a really good opportunity to use those 2 packs. And so that's why I went with those 2 packs. So in this room, this kids room, you can see here, the wallpaper was completely from spooky stuff, but I've just toned it down a bit, just using a matching plain, I think it's paint, wallpaper. In this kind of corridor here, well, first of all, the windows, the colours that Belle chose, I mean, they're white, and I'm using brown inside. And for a long time while I was finishing, I was kind of annoyed at this. I was like, if only they would match. You know, of course you can't change what someone's built in this kind of collaboration, you know, on the exterior. So it's a bit later on in this video that I kind of realized, well, you know, I have to bend to match the exterior. The exterior is, immovable, and so I go through and I change a lot of the browns, the woods that I'm using to be whites to match the window colors. That's just something I like doing. If there's a certain window color in a room, I will often try and use that color when I'm finishing. And yeah, I didn't do it at first, but later on in the video I sort that out. I should probably mention, and please take this as just being completely matter of fact, Belle has made this house in a very interesting way. So this room that I'm in right now is like the entrance room. It's not actually connected to the rest of the house. It's kind of freestanding. And then there's like a cellar, and you have to go through the cellar to get to the rest of the house. And I have never built a house like that. So that did make me really nervous, and I wasn't sure how I was going to make this work. But yeah, it's just Belle being creative, and I have embraced it. I have stuck in some stairs, as you can see, going down to the cellar, and there are some doors on the other parts of the house, and Sims can walk in those doors, but that's part of the exterior, and again, I embrace it. It's all completely cool with me. I'm just here to furnish, and well, the whole collaboration has been quite fun, but it's also really scary, and as my first collaboration, I'm not sure if I will do another collaboration in any kind of a hurry, but we shall see. But yeah, I think Belle has been wonderful with me, and thank you again, Belle. Very much appreciated. And she's just the sweetest. You've got to listen to her videos if you haven't already. I know I've said it already, but I just want to say it again. Go and listen to her videos. Anyway, back to the build. This room here, this cellar room, which you have to kind of go through to get to the rest of the house, it was troubling me, and I didn't really know what to do with it, especially because I had these stairs going in all the way through it. But as you saw, I actually moved it. And don't worry, I didn't do it of my own volition. I didn't just go in there and move it without talking to Belle. I talked to Belle and I said, "Hey Belle, can I move the cellar just like 2 squares?" And she said, "Yes, go for it." So thank you so much, Belle. So because of that, because I was able to move it just slightly, I could push the stairs to one side, as it were, and I had more space to work with. And because I was using the movie hangout stuff, this is now the best room to make into some kind of entertainment room, home cinema room, that kind of thing. So yeah, this massive TV, if you can call it a TV, maybe a projector screen or something like that, that's for movie hangout stuff. And the popcorn machine over on the counters in the corner, that's also for movie hangout stuff. And then those are 2 of the main items in that pack. And I mean, I think there's a couple more, like there's another TV. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of any other items that are kind of, important in that pack. But there is the whole colourful style in the furniture in that pack. And I would have liked to have used it in this build, but because I'm kind of picky with matching colours with other stuff, I actually found it really hard to match the colours of those furniture items with the rest of the stuff. So I left out using the really colourful movie hangout furniture for the most part. So yeah, because she built the exterior with Get Together, as I said earlier, I am taking this to mean that I can use those items inside as well. So that is why I'm using that giant video game machine. Just because I wanted this room to be like entertainment focused. And it's also good that the entertainment room is near the front door, because that's useful for when Sims come over for events. If you have your entertainment room too far away from the front door, it can take a while for Sims to get there, if they even do, because they can often get distracted by objects along the way. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. I did a bit of playtesting, and yeah, it seemed to be okay. It seemed to be pretty functional, but we've mostly just done this build so we can have a bit of fun between us. I don't really mind if it doesn't get many downloads or anything in the gallery. Just to explain, I used to be a purely gallery focused builder, and so I would build deliberately stuff that I knew would be more interesting for people in the gallery to download. I mean, some people, when they build in speed builds, they are building purely for the entertainment of people that are watching the videos, which of course should be a concern for me as well, and it is. It's just not my major concern. I tend to just want to do a good build in the way I see good builds, in my style. And again, I've seen this before countless times in other videos, but yeah, I love all other styles of building and decorating. This is my style. Well, this is my kind of merged style with Bell's. So yeah. Anyway, upstairs, the very top floor, I couldn't do fences all the way around the stairs that I'd placed, so I just had to do it across like that. And the reason why I couldn't do a fence up to the window there is because as soon as you put a fence there or a half wall there, it takes away the window. So I didn't want to do anything to disturb the exterior, because that's not my responsibility, you know. Belle did that, and so, you know, I don't want to ruin anything that Belle's made, just as I'm sure that she's not... Oh, I hope she's not ruining my exterior. But I don't mean it like ruining, I just mean... Anyway, I know you probably understand what I mean. I don't mean any offense, I'm just saying. So yeah, this is where I've decided to put the main, or the master bedroom. And recently I've been thinking I should stop calling it the master bedroom, because, well, if you think about it, it's kind of sexist. And I don't think that it came from master as in like main. I think it's more to do with man of the house, and so I don't like using sexist terms, so I'd like to try and deprogram myself from using that. But it's the main bedroom. It's not a kid's bedroom, it's for adults. And I've gone for a more neutral tone. And there is a little bit of colour. And I did try and squeeze more colour into it, actually. Please believe me, I did. But I just couldn't. I mean, I just felt that it looked out of place. And yeah, I know, I made the neutral background, so it's my fault. But yeah, I think what I end up with looks okay. Personally speaking, I think it's okay. Of course, I'm very curious to know what you think in the comments. If you are new to my channel, like if you came across from Belle's channel, or if you are some of the new subscribers that came along thanks to very lovely mentions from a few people, including Leander and Devon Bumpkin on his streams. Oh, and also my good friend Crystal Sims. So yeah, if you're new here, you won't know that I reply to all my comments, and sometimes I will reply with a book. So because, you know, I often have lots of thoughts while I'm replying, and so I just decide because I'm a fast typer, so I just think, well, no, I just don't think. I just say whatever comes to my mind. I don't plan to do these big comments. But anyway, yeah, so please leave your comments down below and I will reply. So I'm kind of unsure what else I could say about this main bedroom, except that I'm glad that it has an ensuite. But yeah, moving on, I wanted to mention about Belle some more. Belle and I get on really well. I know I've said that already. But the thing with Belle and I is that I think we've both had some troubles in our life where we've had to, you know, our mood has been so massively impacted. So we are both very good at trying to make ourselves think positively. and be optimistic. And so whenever things are going bad for me, I know that I can talk to Belle and she will come back with a different take on how I'm feeling. She will be optimistic when I am unable to be. And hey Belle, that's really appreciated. I'm actually really bad at telling people how much I appreciate them and how much I like them. I don't know why it's like that. I think a lot of it is because when I was a lot younger, I was more talkative and more sharing and more open, and I kind of got pushed back through various experiences in my life. But I still have these feelings of appreciation. I just don't express them very well or at all. But I am pretty good at thanking Belle and trying to return the niceness that she gives to me back. But I don't know, I'm always knocking myself, and life can be tough, life can be tough. But Belle is a cool person, and I'm so pleased to have her in my life. And I know that she feels similarly about me because we tell each other, we're very open with each other. I know there's a lot of people on the internet that don't like hearing exactly what's going on in someone's head, and they just want everything to be perfectly polished and positive. But Belle and I are just open and honest, and I think a lot of, especially mainland Europeans, tend to appreciate people that are more open and honest. And I think it's also a quality that New Zealanders and Australians have as well, which is why I'm like that. But I've always thought of myself as a massive diplomat. So even if someone is sensitive, if I've hurt them, I usually feel like jumping off a cliff. I usually feel awful. It's the worst thing. So yeah, anyway, back to the build. This is the kids' room, and I have mistakenly used a cupboard from the kids' room stuff pack, thinking that it's the puppet theatre that came with the pack. And when I did the playtesting afterwards, which if you don't know, I always playtest my builds. It's just a quality that I learned while I was a game content designer. And so yeah, I like to make sure that everything is working as well as it can. And I don't like leaving any kind of glaring bugs. So yeah, I made a playtest family, as I always do for all my builds, and moved them into this place. And the kid that I made, she went up into the kids' room, and I tried to get her to do a puppet show, but stupid me, I had just added in a cupboard and not the actual puppet cupboard thing. So don't worry, it gets replaced after the playtesting, and yeah, not on the video obviously. And yeah, there's a couple of other things that I changed, but not much. Like for example, I've got a toddler bedroom downstairs, but there's no high chairs in the video. And yeah, I added them in after the playtesting, because if you go to a fridge to feed a toddler and there's no high chair, it won't let you make food for that toddler. So even though I don't like using the high chairs to feed my toddlers, I prefer them sitting down like on a cushion or on a seat or a sofa, something like that, with a plate of normal food or whatever food. But I don't like using the high chairs, and I didn't like using them in Sims 3 either, because they kind of trap kids. And it can be really difficult for adult Sims to get them out again. I know maybe your game is so much smoother than mine and you don't have any problems with it, but I'm always having problems when I use the high chairs with either wanting them to get into the high chair and having slight issues with it, or wanting to get them out of it. So I just prefer to avoid it completely. And I would prefer if my toddler just walks up and picks up food and sits down on a sofa or something like that. And that's what goes on in my gameplay, because I can't bear using the high chairs. Sorry, Maxis. Lovely high chairs, I just don't want to use them. But so yeah, there was a few things that changed after the video, but I don't think there was much. And so this room up here, this reddish pinkish room, it's like another entertainment room basically, because when I came up to this room to furnish it, I was like, what can I do here? Because, well, each floor is pretty small and constricted, and especially when you add in stairs, and it's, you know, it's bad enough when you add one set of stairs, but if you've got multiple floors like this, you need to have multiple sets of stairs, so that impacts the footprint of the rooms that you can do on each level. And so I had this situation where the stairs were coming up here, you see them right now, and I couldn't have them going into someone's bedroom because the realist in me doesn't like that kind of stuff. And there's the kids' bedroom to the side, so really there needs to be either a very small constricted hallway or something like what I did, which is to make a much bigger, more spacious room, and have communal kind of objects in it, different furniture and items that all different types of Sims across your household will want to use. Now, you've probably just seen me placing an external rubbish bin, and I did that, by the way, after talking to Belle, because the perfectionist in me cannot stand having a house that doesn't have a mailbox and an external rubbish bin, because that causes some gameplay issues sometimes. Anyway, screenshot and preview time. So here's the entrance room with stairs leading down into the entertainment room. Here's a little closer up to the seated area in the entrance room. Here's one shot of the kitchen, and from the other direction with the added high chairs. And here's the dining room using a bit of spooky stuff. And here's the alternative dining area for toddler and his dad. And here's the bathroom, the main bathroom. There are two others. The toddler bedroom. I love those butterflies on the wall. And then here's the kids' bedroom with a desk to do homework on. And there's the correct puppet theatre. Here's a hallway outside the master bedroom on the top floor. And then here is the main bedroom. And another shot. It has an ensuite. This is the second entertainment room. And there's also a computer desk and easel. And the main entertainment room with a bar, popcorn machine, massive TV screen, and the video game I mentioned, and a not very happy toddler. Love that shot. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And Belle hears this all the time, but thank you, Belle. Thank you for this collaboration. I have actually really enjoyed it. It's been a good first collaboration, and it's a good start. And I've already talked to a couple of other people about some other collabs. Anyway, we shall see what happens in the future. Bye bye.